I know, this video will actually create some controversy. I've been using the M4 iPad Pro for about 2 months now. And in today's video, I want to discuss, did I waste my money buying this very expensive iPad Pro? Or was it worth it? So, if you are excited, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. Let's discuss the M4 iPad Pro one last time. I know, this video will actually create some controversy. But the M4 iPad Pro, well, I've been using this device for 2 months now. It came out around March 15 and I got it around May 24th, May 25th. And I remember specifically getting this iPad Pro because it was a shock to me how thin and how portable this device was. It was so different from my older 2018 iPad Pro. I actually have this device right here. You just pick it up from the case. Yes, there it is, the 2018 iPad Pro. And I specifically remember getting this iPad Pro because it was so much more thin than the 2018 counterpart and light. This 12.9-inch iPad Pro felt so much more different than the 2018 iPad Pro. Not because of the design, but because of the form factor. Yes, and that left me very excited because this 2018 iPad Pro was one of my favorite designs ever on an Apple product. And then the M4 just made it way better. But the thing about this design is, and the thing about all design is, after the first 2 weeks, they forget about it. You get used to it, and then it's nothing. Again, yes, this iPad Pro is thinner, it's smaller, and is also less bulkier. So at the end of the day, you really notice the difference between both the iPad Pros because this one is way more portable, easier to use and to carry around. But after the first 2 weeks, the novelty wears out and you're like, well, that's the same. It feels the same. Again, the overall design is about the same. This one is thinner and is less bulkier and lighter, especially lighter. But other than that, you can actually not notice the difference between these two iPad Pros. And so 2 months later, I'm completely used to this design, completely neutral, and now it's simply the iPad Pro's design. So after 2 months, upgrading for the 2018 iPad Pro to the 2024 iPad Pro, well, at the end of the day, it still feels the same, still works the same, still has the same inputs. Oh, I bought the Magic Keyboard. This was actually a good buy in my opinion, changed the way that I use my iPad Pro. I simply installed the iPad Pro on the Magic Keyboard. I can unlock it via Face ID, really easily, fast, and then use the trackpad, use the keyboard. It's a new input method that before I didn't have. Before, I only had the Smart Keyboard Folio in the first 3 years, then it broke, and I used just the touchscreen. But on the Magic Keyboard now, on the M4 iPad Pro was something that I thought it was worth a try at least for the channel, and after buying it, I can say that it was worth it. So if you are looking into buy a Magic Keyboard for your M4 iPad Pro or even M2 iPad Pro, you are undecided if it's worth it or not, I'm telling you, it is. Because it's different. It actually gives you a different experience when using the M4 iPad Pro. In my opinion, buying a Magic Keyboard gives you more of a different experience than upgrading for the M4 iPad Pro. So if you have an older iPad Pro, since the 2018 generation further, and you want to enhance your experience, I would advise you spending the $300 or even buying used, $200 used for a Magic Keyboard. This will change your experience. While with the upgrading your iPad Pro, in the beginning it will be cool, but then it will be more than a novelty. So yes, in terms of design, the design of the M4 iPad Pro in the first 2 months kind of feels the same now. It's being lighter, being thinner. It's cool whenever you are using your Apple Pencil and your iPad Pro with your hand, but if you are using your Magic Keyboard, then it does not matter. The Magic Keyboard makes your iPad Pro way thicker and way heavier. So at the end of the day, these are things you gotta weigh out. Is it worth it $1,200, $1,300 for an iPad Pro, a new iPad Pro that you gotta buy the new Magic Keyboard for because this not supports the old generation of the Magic Keyboard? And if you have the older generation iPad Pro, it does not support the new generation Magic Keyboard. So if you buy the new M4 iPad Pro, you will have to upgrade your Magic Keyboard. Is it worth it, all that money? Well, that's something you gotta decide. For me, it was, because I had the iPad Pro, the 2018 generation iPad Pro was getting old, it was broken, and so I felt the need to upgrade. But remember, I also had the older generation Apple Pencil, the second generation Apple Pencil, And with upgrade from my 2018 to the 2024 M4 iPad Pro, I had to upgrade my Apple Pencil. This was the Apple Pencil second generation. Great Apple Pencil. Still worked great, still had the shortcuts, still was fast to use, really reliable. But I had the use case, I have a very important use case for the Apple Pencil, which is my university course. And so when I decided to upgrade for the M4 iPad Pro, because I had to upgrade my iPad Pro, I had to buy the Apple Pencil Pro. And this is a great Apple Pencil. It's the best Apple Pencil ever. This is actually a great value. But if you have the old generation Apple Pencil, the second generation Apple Pencil, is it worth it to upgrade? Is the upgrade that significant? It isn't. But you gotta understand, this is obligatory. From the time that you upgrade for the M4 iPad Pro, there's no choice. You need to buy the two new Apple Pencils. The Apple Pencil USB-C version with no magnetic charging and less features, so it's worse than the second generation Apple Pencil, or you gotta buy the new Apple Pencil Pro. There's no choice between. You cannot use your old generation, second generation Apple Pencil. It's a shame, but I can understand why, because the new iPad Pro is thinner, so probably they organize the charging system differently, and so only the new Apple Pencil Pro has the new charging system. Again, this is wirelessly charged, so you need to actually use the right wirelessly charging coils. So you need to upgrade for the Apple Pencil Pro, which will give you new features like the squeezing method, like the squeezing menu, like the Find My capabilities. So the Apple Pencil Pro is newer. It's better than the older generation Apple Pencil second generation, but is it worth it to upgrade if you look at it on vacuum? No, it isn't. It's not worth it $130 more. This is still really good. But again, if you upgrade for the M4 iPad Pro, there's no choice there. Don't get me wrong, the iPad Pro alone has reasons for you to upgrade. Not just the new design, but the incredible display. The display on this iPad Pro has been the best thing about it in the last 2 months. Yes, it's true. This is a tandem OLED display. According to Apple, this is 2 layers of OLED displays stacked upon together. And this makes this much better. This OLED display is super bright, can sustain 1000 nits of peak brightness. This is really rare for an OLED display because OLED displays tend to be less bright than the mini LED counterparts. The M2 generation featured a mini LED display, while the M4 features an OLED display. And you can really tell the difference between both displays. This is more accurate, this has better contrast ratios, the colors here pop more, they look better. When you are watching HDR video, it's an incredible experience. This is the best display that I ever have. And if you love referencing monitors, if you love to color grade, then the M4 iPad Pro is actually an amazing tool, even to use with your Mac. Because if you use Sidecar for using your Mac, using macOS on the iPad Pro, then oh my god, you still have this incredible OLED display to color grade your videos. But if you love using your iPad Pro, and you are like me, and you buy Final Cut Pro for iPad Pro, and you can use Final Cut Pro for iPad Pro, then you will also love to color grade your videos. Again, you don't need to buy Final Cut Pro. You can use the incredible DaVinci Resolve system here. And DaVinci Resolve is an incredible video editor present on the M4 iPad Pro. I use it a lot, actually, to color grade videos here. I prefer to use the DaVinci Resolve system to color grade than Final Cut Pro. Really easy, just open DaVinci Resolve and you open up the color grade wheels and you color grade on the wheels. Really easy to use, really simple, really similar to the desktop version. Again, I would say even the same. And yeah, I love it. This referencing monitor is incredible, equivalent to $10,000 referencing monitors. Insane. $10,000 monitor against a $1,000 iPad Pro, $1,500 iPad Pro that can edit videos, can do so much more. It's almost a laptop alternative and it has this incredible display. Again, it's also not just great for editing videos and photos that I know lots of people don't do. Lots of people are not YouTubers like me, but they also love to watch movies, and here the iPad Pro just shines. Netflix, Disney+, HBO Max. I'm currently watching the new season of House of the Dragon, and watching it here on the iPad Pro is marvelous. It's insane. The speakers are incredible. This quad speaker system is absurd for a device this thin and this small. So yes, at the end of the day, having an iPad Pro to actually consume content, which most people do on their iPad Pros, was worth the upgrade for me, at least coming from the 2018 generation, which also had the incredible quad speaker system, the incredible LCD display, which was Retina, and watching movies here was a good experience. But now, making the upgrade for the M4 iPad Pro alone, for watching movies, for watching videos, for color grading, for me, it was worth the upgrade simply for the incredible OLED display. But I know that most people, they don't really care about this. This is more of a gimmick. This is more like something that us power users love and notice. But normal people will look at this display and say, looks better. Is it worth $1,500? Hell no. So yes, I cannot tell you if this incredible OLED display makes it worth it to upgrade, but if you love the iPad Pro experience, if you love consuming content on the iPad Pro, and you are kind of a nerd, then yes, if you have the money, buy the M4 iPad Pro. This display alone makes it worth it. But for me, not just watching movies, watching videos, playing games on this M4 iPad Pro is so fun. And now with the new game, Assassin's Creed, I think Assassin's Creed Mirage, this is great. This is the first AAA title coming to the iPad Pro. And you can really notice the power of the M4 chip. This video game really pushes the iPad Pro to, not to its limits, but pushes the iPad Pro, which some apps are not able to do. And again, this is the beginning, because it's the first AAA title available on the M4 iPad Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Not every device has the ability to play these games. Again, even the older generation, the iPhone 13 Pro Max, is not capable of playing the Assassin's Creed Mirage. This is 3-year-old right now. I think 3-year-old, 2-year-old even. This is the second oldest generation. So you have the iPhone 14 Pro Max and then the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Again, this is a great game to play. This is, okay, paid, costs 50 euros, but you need to download it. But once you download it, it's super smooth to play, super easy. Assassin's Creed is a lovable game that I love to play since my childhood. And playing on the iPad Pro is almost a dream come true. This is the beginning of it. I think Fortnite will be available in the EU now. That is coming for the iPad Pro again. It's a game that was available on older generation devices, but now it will be available on this one. Playing PUBG, playing Call of Duty Warzone, all of these more demanding games, on the iPad Pro, they just fly through. And they are actually a really good experience to do so. So gaming on the M4 iPad Pro is also a great option. I can tell you that this is probably the best console you can buy right now. It will start to get AAA games, it will start to get even more fun games, and now you can play emulating games. I've downloaded here a very fun thing, which was a PlayStation, a PSP emulator. I can put games here and play them with a remote. It's so much fun. And as an emulator device, this is so powerful with the M4 chip. So this is the perfect emulator device. You can get even more emulators for GBA and other things. So yes, always get your ROMs on a legal way. Do not download it illegally. This is a disclaimer for YouTube. Do not download illegal ROMs to play on emulators. That's illegal. But it's a perfect device to do so. So yeah, again, I think that for gaming, for consuming content, using this incredible display, iPadOS is just fine, and the M4 iPad Pro is the perfect device to do so. And again, you get great battery life. This device lasts me the whole day. And one thing that I did, and you can do now with your iPad Pros, is limit the usage of your iPad Pro. So I go into battery, and from battery, I go into battery health. It's already at 100% still 2 months later, and only with 17 cycles. And I put the 80% limit there. So now, this 80% limit limits the amount of charge that I put on my iPad Pro. This will keep my battery health even healthier for a long term. And if you are like me, you don't actually spend the whole battery during the day, you just like to watch movies, content, and then that's okay, you leave it there. Plug it into the charge maybe once every 3 days, 4 days. The M4 iPad Pro battery is just fine. If you go on a trip, you charge to 100%, it will be just fine. Last you 10 hours of continuous use. I would say that the battery life here is not the best. It could be better. I understand that it could be better, but for the everyday use, it's just fine. And getting this 80% every day will save your battery health and of course get you a better iPad Pro for the long term, which on a very expensive device that the M4 iPad Pro is essential in my opinion. The USB-C port is also a great addition to the iPad Pro, specifically on the Thunderbolt port was added on the M1 or M2 generation, because I was using the 2018 iPad Pro. This generation of the iPad Pro did not have a Thunderbolt port, and now I noticed the difference when transferring files from my SD cards to the Final Cut Pro app. Definitely faster. The one thing, and now I enter the bad parts of using this iPad Pro, the bad experience that I had on the last 2 months, all because of iPadOS, is the file system, the Files app, and iPadOS in general. This iPad Pro disappointed me in so many ways, specifically 3 ways. First was the Files app. The Files app, terrible. It's so disorganized, it's so different than Finder on Mac that I actually ask myself, are people that work on these Files app from the same company that Apple built macOS? It doesn't seem so. This is disorganized, this is not easy to use, does not give you progress bars for transferring files, moving files. You cannot restore SSDs, you cannot restore SD cards. It's really, really, really weird. It's not the best Files app, I know, but it could be better. I mean, you could put Finder here, you would solve the issue. Finder is an incredible system. This is just trash. So Files here, terrible, terrible. But it was not my main issue. Again, I use Files like once per 3 days, for 4 days. So if this only issue was the Files system, the Files app, I would be okay with it. But iPadOS has two limiting factors that for me make it a pain in the ass, because it's truly, truly, truly bad. And the first one is dual audio support. So if I'm playing a YouTube video, for example, and I want to scroll through Twitter, or I'm playing a movie and I want to scroll through Twitter, whatever. You want to scroll through two different audio sources. The iPad Pro freezes. So if you open one audio source, you are watching a YouTube video, and then suddenly another Twitter video opens up, a silent Twitter video, or a GIF with sound, something like that. Then the YouTube video stops. You cannot have two different audio sources coming from two different apps on the iPad Pro. And this sounds weird probably for you, but trust me, you will notice this. Once you use your Mac for a period of time, you will notice the difference between having a computer and having an iPad Pro, because you are watching a video on YouTube and then decide to go to another web app, another website, and suddenly a video pops up, an ad pops up, your YouTube video stops, you were listening to your podcast and it stops, and it's annoying. For example, you are listening to a music, then you are scrolling through the web and you are listening to music, right? Normal use case. Then what happens if you open up an ad? Well, your music stops. So you can really see how this is annoying for me. Truly, truly annoying. This is a content creator's device. This is a content consuming device, and you cannot play two audio sources at the same time. Again, this is the biggest limiting factor on the iPad Pro for most people, in my opinion. Trash. Really, really trash. This Apple is so easy to fix. This is a laptop alternative. Guys, this is not an iPhone. This is not a big iPhone. This is a laptop. This is a laptop alternative. This should be a computer. Does not behave like a computer. And so this annoyed me so much. This was the thing that annoyed me the most in the last 2 months. Apple needs to fix this, because again, this will never be a laptop replacement if Apple does not fix this issue. This is very, very annoying. And again, oh my God. Jesus, Apple, how can you mess this up so bad? I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. This is truly a big flaw on the M4 iPad Pro. Another big issue that I had with the M4 iPad Pro, this is not relatable to everyone, again, was on Final Cut Pro. And I thought that Final Cut Pro would be the savior for the iPad Pro, because again, it would give me Final Cut Pro, the video editing app on the Mac. And well, just like every other software for the iPad Pro, Photoshop, DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, and other, like even Pixelmator Pro, all of these softwares that are available on the iPad Pro, that are also available on the Mac, they are, well, I would say 80% the way there. So they are not still the full fat version that the Mac has. And this might seem like, okay, that's fine, I have some compromises. But it isn't. Final Cut Pro is not reliable. Final Cut Pro is not usable, in my opinion, because it does not give you plugins, does not give you ways to use LUTs. It's so annoying. How can I not use plugins, LUTs? How can I not edit videos directly from an external SSD? This is annoying. I know. Very, very annoying. But I know it's not relatable to anyone. So I'm not here complaining about this. I know that professionals like me and other people that are doing professional work will look at this video and say, okay, so the iPad Pro is not for me. I should buy a Mac if I want to do full fat work on these computers. Well, I understand that. But one thing will affect most people, or at least 95% of people, is the dual task support. I call it dual task because this iPad Pro cannot perform two tasks at the same time. And you are looking at me and saying, what are you saying? You can have multi-window support, you can use two apps at the same time. No. For example, if you are exporting a YouTube video, well, you are exporting a YouTube video from Final Cut Pro and you decide to open up Twitter. So you leave Final Cut Pro app and you open up Twitter. What does happen? Well, the Final Cut Pro cancels the task that you were doing. It will no longer export the video or render the video. So this is just one example. For example, if you are rendering photos on Photoshop, well, if you leave the Photoshop app, well, it cancels the Photoshop rendering system. Again, this is annoying. This M4 iPad Pro has 8 gigabytes of RAM. There are versions with 16, and still, you are telling me that it cannot perform 2 tasks at the same time. Oh my god, this is the second worst thing about this M4 iPad Pro and iPadOS experience, is the dual audio support and the dual task support. This is so trivial to a computer. This is something that a computer should be able to do. It's not a matter of, oh, it's okay if it does not do it, oh, it should be optional. No, this is not optional. This is a complete scandal that the iPad Pro cannot do this. And until Apple fixes this M4 iPad Pro will never be a laptop replacement. So, yes, these were the 2 most annoying things on the M4 iPad Pro for me. The dual audio support and the dual task support. So Apple needs to fix this quickly on the iPadOS 18. They did not announce it on WWDC, but again, you don't need to. Just launch over-the-air upgrade, fix this. This is a huge issue that I found on my 2024 iPad Pro in the last 2 months that make me just steer towards the Mac, use the Mac more. Again, once I'm in the Mac ecosystem, whenever I want to watch a video, I remember, do I want to pick my iPad Pro? Do I watch it here on the Mac? I ended up watching it most of the time on my Mac. So only when I'm on the couch, relaxed, not working, that I pick up this M4 iPad Pro. And if the iPad wants to be that device, that consumer device, that device does not relate to work, then it's okay, totally fine. That's okay. Apple, do not call it iPad Pro, do not call it iPad Pro, call it an iPad. Do not sell the Magic Keyboard because completely useless at that point. Just make it really light, really lightweight, thin, just like it is right now. Sell it for $800, $700, and I'm fine with it. But if you want to make it a Pro device, sell it for $1,500, sell a laptop keyboard, a keyboard that transforms your iPad Pro into a Mac, then do not tell me that I cannot have these features. It's so maddening. It's so actually, oh, it hurts my head just talking about it. So, yes, Apple, fix this, and I'll be okay with the M4 iPad Pro. Until then, these are 2 fatal mistakes for the iPad Pro in my opinion. So, let me know in the comments below if you have the M4 iPad Pro, and if these 2 issues have bothered you in the last 2 months. Other than that, this iPad Pro is really good. The design is perfect, super thin and lightweight, really improved from the 2018 generation forward. And yeah, the Apple Pencil Pro is great, has tons of features that I think are really worth to upgrade if you haven't had any Apple Pencil in the last 10 years. And yeah, the Magic Keyboard, if you have older iPad Pros, even the new M4 iPad Pro is totally worth to get. Really useful, makes your iPad Pro different, gives you a different experience, an amazing keyboard, really close to the MacBook Pro generation keyboards. And the trackpad is also good, has this new input method from the iPadOS team that I think works pretty okay. So, in the last 2 months, I had a mixed experience. Was it worth it getting this M4 iPad Pro? Well, for me it was, because I had the older generation 2018, and at the end of the day, it was older, it was broken, and buying this iPad Pro is almost necessary. For me, I think it was worth it, and of course I can justify it for the channel. But for you, it's different. Really ask yourself, should I spend $1,500 on an M4 iPad Pro? It's a tough question, I know. But something that you can ask on the comments down below, and I will help you out. Something that you can ask on the comments down below, and people will help you out. This is a community after all. Drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.